this is hard for you. But winter is coming.
How's it going, everybody?
Decent.
I am Young Davos, and I'm joined here with Ramsey Bolton's twin. How are you
I
doing?
hate you so much.
I can't think of any other character that kind of looks like you.
I don't even think I look like him.
I know.
All.
I just thought
the closest.
That's what I'm saying. It's like nothing's close to you.
Yeah. Like it's not close, but out of all of them, it's the closest.
I mean, we could probably go with like somebody maybe like Pip or something, from like,
I don't know.
or Gren.
Maybe like back when I was in high school and didn't cut my hair.
Yeah.
Or I did cut my hair, but I didn't put it up.
Roose Bolton, young Roose Bolton.
Roose Bolton. I don't know what he looks like. Young.
But how are you doing today, my
decent.
friend?
I'm fine.
Just decent.
I'm fine. Doing all right.
This is our Game of Thrones Memoriam video. We are going to reflect a little bit on what has happened over the past 10 years and how we feel about
stuff.
things.
We've gone through puberty.
Yeah, we've gone through No, we haven't.
Wait, I went through puberty. Look at this.
Yeah. No, you
see this now?
Well, I was 12.
I just finished puberty. Finally.
After it's been a week and a half since the last episode.
Right.
Looking back at it, how do you feel about last season?
I think it had some good points along the way. There were things I liked, but just like every single other person who's being fair has said, it was rushed.
Yeah, I can completely agree. I think I'm pretty mediocre on that season. I don't think it takes away from the show. I think, it's going to be a great show no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And it will be... Did you actually see the IMDb ratings for that compared to freaking Breaking Bad?
No.
So
I didn't see them side by side, but I've seen them separate.
Breaking Bad was 9.5, 9.5, and Game of Thrones is 9.4. But Game of Thrones had 160,000 reviews, and Breaking Bad had like 123. Yeah,
Breaking Bad doesn't have as many. Like the most votes on an episode is like 102,000.
Still a lot, but
well, the most votes on a Game of Thrones episode is like 170,000.
Yeah, well, Game of Thrones is definitely a bigger show. But yeah, we also have our results from our Deadpool that we did.
Should we do that at the end?
We'll do that at the end. But let's start out first. Favorite moment of the show that you've had? Like it might have been, we'll go favorite moment. Like one moment that really made you feel good about yourself or the show.
I almost have a bleeding suspicion that we have the same one.
Ooh.
We haven't even talked about it, so I kind of want to see.
Do you want me to go first?
No, let's do it on 3.
Okay.
It's 1, 2, 3, then go. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Jon
Arya
Snow
cuts the candle.
Oh, dang it. That is a top moment. I forgot about that moment, though. But Jon Snow getting revealed to be Aegon Targaryen for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care that people say that it didn't make any sense of why he was a Targaryen, but I think it's kind of poetic that the rightful heir shouldn't get the throne,
Yeah, I think they could have done some things like to make him freaking baller unburnt also.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think it was I think they missed a few things in the show, which I'm actually about 100 pages into the book, and I like Jon better in the book, to be completely honest, so far. I've only had like 3 or 4 point of view chapters. But every time I watch Jon Snow getting revealed of being the son of Lyanna Stark, I cry every time. And it's just something emotional for me.
Yeah, I think when that part happens, I think that I might actually say that too. Because it was just like, you were there with me when I watched it. And like when it was leading up to it, like I had a moment of when I realized it right before it actually like revealed it, I was like, what?
Especially if
I said that out loud. I was like, what?
Exactly. That's the one episode I like rewatching with people that haven't seen the show to get their reactions. So that's why it's my favorite. The candle scene is actually the episode right before that too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. It's I can't even remember the
that
name.
9 that the candle's in?
Oh, the candle's in 8 and then Jon Snow's in 10. You're right. 6 season episode 10 and 8. But yeah. So you're saying that moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. There's a few like the Red Wedding, but that kind of lines, with heartbreaking death, I guess. And that's actually our next one.
I'm gonna go with little baby Ned.
Rob and Talissa's kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have. No, I think that might be the most surprising death for me. But it's kind of hard for me to call back since I've seen it so long ago. And you saw it before me too, because you technically watched season 1 through 5 before
1 through 5.
I did. Yeah,
Years
and then
ago,
I watched it after you. But the one that caught me off surprise and was so, I guess, heartbreaking, even though I know it wasn't final, was John's death.
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe John's death was the most surprising because, like, he was, like, the last person, like, you know what I mean? Him and Daenerys.
I think I have to go with that way, where I think the Red Wedding was probably sadder, my first watch through.
Yeah.
But John's was, like, more, it was like a, I don't know, different.
Surprising?
It was surprising, yeah.
I'm going to change it. My most heartbreaking death would be Ned Stark's death.
Ned?
I've rewatched it multiple times with people. That's another moment I like watching. It breaks me almost. Just Arya's reaction to it and Sansa
when we watch
passing
it from
out.
Arya's
it's
perspective.
that moment's probably the most heartbreaking for me, even more than the Red Wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, Ned Stark, he's the man.
Yeah.
He's kind of,
and that was kind of the moment that established the show as, like, we will kill the main character and not care.
You know what I love? That's true. But you know what I love in the book? Because you read the first book too.
Right.
When he's...
I think I got through the second one also.
Yeah. When he's talking on their way down to King's Landing, when he's talking to Robert about who's going to be Warden of the East. And he's like, don't tell me it's Jaime Lannister. Do you remember that part?
Vaguely.
It's very...
Actually, I think I do.
Yeah. I just think it's funny because he, like, tries to tell him without bringing up, like, his honor, like, his player in the game, I guess, his own honor. But then he, like, Ned's pettiness was like, he sat on the throne before you. He shouldn't have done that. Like, that was his reason why he shouldn't be Warden of the East. I was like, Ned, you're so petty, man.
Yeah.
Favorite episode?
610.
610?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought you were going to go 6-9. Battle of the Bastards.
I think it might have just been because it was, like, so hyped going into it, but, like, it was just a battle.
It's true.
Like, it was a good battle.
It was a great battle.
It had some good moments, but, like, it was just a battle. It wasn't anything, like, hugely dramatic.
Yeah.
The Stark boy that we don't care about died.
Rick Goner.
Yeah.
He doesn't get any love in the books, does he?
I saw a meme the other day that was it was a picture of Ned Stark, and it was like, this man raised 3 kings, a queen,
a prince,
and one little bitch who couldn't zigzag.
I think I sent you that. Did I?
I
Maybe.
don't think so.
I don't know.
I saw it on Reddit.
Oh yeah,
we saw it independently of each other.
Oh, that means it was fate, because I saw it and showed it to my dad and he laughed. Because mine said...
That's exactly what your dad said out loud while we were watching it, though.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, every time. I remember we showed my dad that episode first before we showed him anything else.
Uh-huh.
Just because we wanted him to get into the show, and he can't stand slow-moving shows.
Uh-huh.
And so we'd show him that one and Spoils of War, where Daenerys, the loot train, where she burns Jaime's. Yeah. We just showed him the most action-packed episodes that he'd get interested, and so we got him into it. Yeah, he dug it, but he still hates a lot of the episodes because they're so slow.
Yeah. That's another moment I really like in the show, because it's like...
That one's good, too.
You get it from Jaime's perspective.
I think that's
cool. And
cool.
it's like the point where you realize that you do like Jaime.
Yeah.
You didn't realize you liked him for this entire series, and then all of a sudden he's about to get burned by these dragons that
and
are
then you're
rooting
rooting
that was
for
one
him.
Dragon, yeah.
Yeah, one dragon.
And she still had 3 at that point.
I think it's funny because she's like, when he goes back to Cersei, he says that was one dragon.
Yeah.
Like, that's how much, and then he's like worried about, what about 3? But then it's only one dragon in season 8, and she still wrecks him.
Yeah.
Which I still like, but a lot of people might not. I am actually going to be basic here and say I like Battle of the Bastards more than Winds of Winter.
And that's okay.
Those are my top 2. I will say that. And Hardhome's right there too. But it's always been Winds of Winter for me. But since John had a little bit of a mediocre season for this last season, it kind of took away. Yeah, you know what I mean? It didn't... If I wish they would have done season 8 and 9, or 9. I wish they would have done 10 seasons. But Jon kind of took the back seat in this next season, so it kind of took away from that. And that moment when he's standing in front of the horses, nothing better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's freaking awesome. It's just a good episode. I also like the trial of Tyrion.
Yeah,
with Tywin, and 410. I can't remember exactly which episode that name is, but that's a really good one as well. What's the next one on our list?
Character? Favorite character?
Okay, I want to hear your favorite character before season 8 and after season 8, unless it didn't change.
It didn't change. I don't think 8 changed it.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I watched through season 5, Tyrion was my favorite.
Yeah.
But he just kind of becomes such a little punk later on where he doesn't really do anything good.
Exactly.
He kind of lost it for me.
Yeah.
So it was Tyrion at first, but then I would probably have to say, like, maybe Jon.
Jon?
Yeah.
So
or Arya.
I would say Tyrion was my favorite, too.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say Robb was my favorite up until season 3.
Right.
It's like, you're being a dumbass. And then he died, and I was pissed. But Jon was right up there with Tyrion too, and I'll say Jaime was my favorite character, and I thought for sure, his death was a little sour for me.
Yeah, well, that was one of the things that like a lot of people were like they didn't build up to it, to Dany burning the city or any of this other stuff that happened, but they foreshadowed it. Like season 8. When I was watching it with my mom this past week, like they kept saying things, and I was like, "Oh,
yeah."
Like they've been setting this up since episode 1 of this season.
Yeah.
But that was one thing that just
kind of
wasn't set up. It just randomly happened. He's like, "Yeah, I'm still in love with Cersei,"
which I'm fine with.
And then he left.
I'm fine because he's always been in love with Cersei.
Oh, definitely. But it wasn't like an established thing. Like
they could have built towards it a little bit more.
It felt sincerely like he was going to go kill her.
Yeah. I agree. And
like it seemed to me like he was going to go kill her, and that was the only way he could go without letting Brienne come with him.
Yeah.
Because if he said, "I'm going to go kill Cersei," she would have said, "I'm coming with you."
Yeah.
And she would have just hopped on a horse and gone. But if he's saying, "I'm going to go back and bang my sister," she's not going with him.
Yeah, that's true.
And so that was my thought.
I think it's poetic that he goes back almost, and I people are like, "Oh, his character arc just thrown out the window." I don't agree with that. Mm-hmm. I think it's good. Like I think an addict goes back to their drug or sex or whatever, Cersei, and I like that it's not always a happy ending, and like he kind of felt the heroicness of being never felt that before, and people are saying that he doesn't care about the people. I still feel like he's lying to himself to convince himself,
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the way he died.
Yeah.
By bricks, I would have almost rather him get executed by Daenerys, even though Daenerys was an indirect cause of his death. So, and then Jon was right there too. Jon is he's probably my second favorite character right now. And my number 1 is Arya Stark.
Yeah.
I
really
did not
like her.
expect Arya to be my favorite character at the end of the show. I
think she's definitely got to be.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to say that she's the one that climbed the rank and took over.
Yeah, like Jon's still up there, and I still like it. Just kind of he had a lackluster season, and it might be different in the books as I go on. But Arya has always been in my top 2 or 3 characters throughout since I first started watching the show. Even Tywin's in my top 5, and he's been dead for 4 seasons. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with Arya. And you said Jon, right? Or are you going with Arya still?
I'm gonna go with Arya.
Yeah, she's kind of great.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Maisie Williams is such a great actress as well. Favorite season? I feel like this one's fairly easy for me.
I feel like I really liked the last 2 episodes of season 6.
Yeah,
but like the beginning of it wasn't really that interesting.
Okay. Yeah. So
I'm trying to remember. Either 4 or 5, probably.
Yeah. It's 5 has some good episodes. I like episode 10. I like Hardhome. Actually, 5 I think is most people's least favorite thing.
Second least favorite season.
Yeah, second least now. This one definitely is. And then 7, which I will agree. I think 5 is my least favorite, but I can see where a lot of people like it, especially like a lot of people hate it because book readers hate it because they changed the Martell storyline, which, whatever. I think, but my favorite is either 6 or 4, and I'm going to go 4.
Yeah.
Mountain of the Viper, dude. That
I think I just said both because I was trying to remember what happens in them, but I think 4 is probably my favorite.
The whole Tyrion trial and Joffrey's death, and just I think the character development through that, and just Tyrion and Tywin being at odds with each other, and Jaime kind of getting caught in the middle with Cersei literally just trying to, it's so good. And I think it's the best season for characters. Even like Jon and Ygritte, with Watchers on the Wall when she dies, it's great. But I have to say 4, and looks like you say 4 as well.
Yeah.
All right. So this is kind of our final one before we reveal our Deadpool. What what will you miss with the show, and what does the show like mean to you, if it does at all? It could not at all even. I imagine there's some kind of feelings you have with the show that you're sitting here talking about it with me. But
no, I think there's just something epic about it that I don't know how it could ever be captured again.
It's true.
Like, it tells a grand story, like, obviously it's not like Harry Potter or anything like that, but just in terms of like how big it is. Yeah. It's this thing that got huge. And it was able to remain epic for 72 episodes. With like the actual time of that to make into movies.
I'll say about 70 episodes.
Yeah. It would be a ridiculously long series of movies. Yeah. And
they would have had to make.
So they couldn't have made it into movies.
It had to be TV.
But no one but HBO could have made it as a television series. Yeah. And so it's just like this unique thing that I don't think anybody could ever do again.
It's true. And it's actually groundbreaking, first off.
Yeah.
But it's inspiring for filmmaking, I guess. Like, especially being young filmmakers trying to break into this business or try to make our own art. It is something that is inspiring in a way that something like this can be made. Yeah. And you can learn a lot from it. I personally, there's a lot of things that I can connect to with this. I won't say necessarily which, but there's a lot of things that I have players in the game. I have my own feelings wrapped up in this as well. And so it's personal to me. And then of course I'm going to miss it, Yeah. And it, like, right now I've taken about the week and a half, and I've had a hard time wanting to go back and rewatch. Because of how much hate. It's like Star Wars. You lose the love for it because everybody hates The Last Jedi. Yeah. And so everybody's doing this, and it's like I feel myself losing that love, but I feel like this is a show.
Let's not forget how much we loved it for 7 seasons.
It's true. And that's
even if you completely hate the 8th season, like, even you got to understand at least why they did it.
Yeah, exactly. You can say what you want about 5, 6, 7, and 8. You got to admit at least 1 through 4 is perfect TV. I don't care what you say. It's basically Breaking Bad, because Breaking Bad only has 5 seasons too.
Right. They're a lot longer seasons though. Some of those seasons were 20 episodes.
You're not wrong. I wonder how many episodes there are. Yeah, we'll get into it. I'll maybe put it right on the screen unless you want to
100-ish.
Yeah,
that'll take 10 seconds.
Is that really 100?
No, not quite.
I was gonna say, because that's like more than Game of Thrones.
It's probably pretty close.
That and Game of Thrones, and of course you're gonna say The Sopranos. I actually haven't seen The Sopranos.
I've not, but I remember like, my dad really liked it, so I've like seen the effect it has.
Yeah. But yeah, I think those 3 shows are definitely going to be the most influential shows going forward, and I think this is our own little Star Wars, and definitely be missed. And of course, all the characters to go with it.
62 episodes.
62. So it's right there with Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's got nearly as many. About 10 less.
Yeah, and you minus 6 from that. 67, and you minus 7. So it's like 6 to 5 seasons when you match it up. So it's pretty close. If you ended Game of Thrones at 6, season 6, I think everyone would have loved it, even though
If
it
had
doesn't
an
have
actual
any,
story
yeah, a story end. Unless they did it like this, then no one would love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and now to the grand finale.
Yeah.
This won't be disappointing.
Yeah.
Back when we did our Deadpool video, we didn't really have a prize in mind of who would win. But we decided off air that this little guy would be our grand prize. But what happened?
So Dan scored 14 points.
14.
And you and I each scored 17 points. So we tied.
Yep. And we're gonna save this guy some grief, and we're just gonna burn it.
Yeah.
We decided to just burn the motherfucker.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're gonna do right now. So why don't you just come with us? Should we do a snap, or should we go grab the camera and Whoa. No one's ever done that on YouTube before. So we are ready to go. Got the Iron Throne.
Plastic throne.
We have some good stuff.
Good stuff.
Say goodbye to the Iron Throne. Oh, you're having fun there.
Goodbye.
Rest in peace, buddy.
You didn't like that?
Stop melting.
That could come back and blow up in your hand, just so you know. No, you don't know.
Just get a real dragon.
I don't know. The job is done. We burnt it. It didn't do exactly what we wanted it to, but it looks better than the Night
melting.
King. Actually, it looks better than the other Iron Throne. You can sit on this one still.
Yeah. You just gotta.
The Night King might be able to
Hunch.
sit on it.
I bet you could fit.
A broken back.
With how small John was, I bet he could fit on it.
Third Winter-ish on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure you follow us. Third Winter Podcast on SoundCloud. And thank you for watching. And winter
welcome.
is coming.
Winter's over.
Follow my Willis.
I'm at the tasty bit now.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like what you saw here, make sure you subscribe down below. We also have some Game of Thrones videos right there, and we have some movie reviews right there. Thank you for your love and support, and remember, winter is coming. Or don't follow us. You don't have to.